Hello and welcome back to the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships presented by Discraft. This is our back nine coverage of round one for our feature card. It is a PDGA Major here for the amateur division. Huge shout out to Gatekeeper Media for the graphics, for allowing us to do this and use them. We are here in Milford, Michigan at Kensington Metro Park, and this is being covered by Crew 42. On the commentator's mic, I have with me Steven. How you doing, Steven?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We have a great card with us today. They have 9 holes in. Most of them sitting right around par. We're going to take a look at those scores in just a second here. They're really going to want to heat up here on the back nine. Some of the people have really taken off. Some hot scores of neg 8, neg 5 are on the field right now, so they're really going to need to take off here in the back nine if they want to make some moves. And to start with that, they're going to need to do it on hole 10. Why'd I do this for so long? Here at hole 10, 650 feet, par 4. Again, one of the alterations from the new redesign from a couple years ago. Your tee shot here needs to be up in the center of the fairway. A little left is great. Right, not so good. So right here is the perfect landing zone. From there, it's still an enormous shot. Getting a 3 look on this hole is bonus. You have to have tons of power to do it. There's lots of plinko trees in the way. The more left on the fairway all the way up the hill, the better, I would say, because the right side's a drop off.
Adam just smashing on this forehand, getting a nice turn. Gets to the left side, which is a good spot to be.
And past the tree. That's the key. Luke is saying, I'm going to go to the right side. And he's going to go down that hill, and that is a dangerous place to be because there are gaps back there where you can attack towards the pin, but it's like a sheer drop, so you have to go way higher. Makes it very difficult to attack the basket from there.
And we got a misfire here from Chase. Looks like it came out early and low, so he'll probably just trying to get up and down for his par.
Ricky is going right at the tree. He needs to get this to push past the tree. He can't get under it. I think it's on the other side. He's a little too tall to fit underneath that tree. He'd be in a world of trouble. Chase here, even though he's left and short, he can still see the fairway. Ooh, but doesn't get it high enough. That long grass is really grabby.
Makes your run up extremely tough in that.
Going to give another one. This one's a little left as well, but as I mentioned earlier, left is way more open. The right side drops off, so from there he'll hopefully be able to have a hyzer maybe look up to the basket and try to stop the bleeding here for this hole. Here's Ricky. This looks really good. It's in the fairway, but well short of the basket for a birdie look. You never know. There can be throw-ins, but it's real short from the circle.
Got Adam here throwing the forehand again. Looks like he overturned it a little bit, but stays in the fairway, so he should have a way to get up and down for his par.
Lucas is in no man's land. He can see a gap. He's got to aim for it and just trust that that's towards the basket, so he's throwing a big forehand. And he hits the gap beautifully. He's going to be on the fairway farther than anyone else. Not what I would have anticipated, but still 100 short from the basket probably.
Chase here from the left side rough, but still has quite a big gap to get through to get up and down.
He really needs to get up and down though, because he's already lost some strokes early. So that's going to be in circle. Hopefully he can convert that one. This is one of the more difficult holes on the course.
Adam with another beautiful forehand. Put it within 15-20 feet. Should be able to save it and get his par here.
I take back my previous statement. It is not it is the hardest hole on the course, averaging almost over half a stroke more than its par, 4.61. And it's showing why. This hole just has a lot of teeth to it. It's so far uphill, it's hard to get birdie opportunities, so par seems like a birdie. Ooh. Lucas nearly able to get a birdie himself from down there. Taking a look at PDGA live scoring, Grant Woodson being the only person to card a birdie in day one. Oh, dang. Chase was a little high that time at least.
It was good to see that.
Yep.
That'll help build his confidence into his next few putts.
He had a really good attitude the whole round too. He was struggling, but like kept a smile on his face, stayed positive, didn't really get down on himself. And even in that instance, you kind of saw him give that little shrug. He's just like, hey, at least I was making positive, change, getting the disc up that time.
That's good. It's to move into the professional field, you have to be able to just wipe these holes and then start all over when you get up to the next tee pad.
A double bogey for him is going to move him to +2 on the round so far. As we move into hole 11, Steven, what do we got?
Hole 11, you're looking at 512 feet par 3. This is also from the redesign that they did. If you have a big forehand, you can get there. But backhand turnover, I would say, is probably the better play because you get that hyzer finish back to the left because the forehand could leak too far right into the rough.
Adam's going to go take the low gap. And he burns this one a little bit, but luckily for this fairway, there's no OB on this course in general, but there's nothing in the way. Like, there's not a lot of trees and stuff, so even if you land short, you can still see the basket, even give a run at it. Lucas does not look happy with this forehand, but it looked really good out of his hand.
It's probably a little bit too high for his liking, but it ended up almost perfect.
Yeah. Probably was where he was going to hit that tree, and which is the tree you want to aim for. But like you said, the height actually probably saved him from hitting the tree and ended up putting it right by the basket.
You got Ricky here with a nice forehand.
Yep, got through, made me nervous.
Did that, what I was talking about with the forehand, it leaked right into the, it's not really rough, but you're off to the right side.
Mm-hmm. Forehand from Chase here. Chase has a lot of power with his forehand. He hasn't really utilized it a lot in the front nine here, but this is a little too high from him.
Looked like he didn't really put as much power behind it as he wanted to. You see him shaking his head at the end there, so. A little touch forehand to lay up and get his par.
Yep. Just, like I said, there's nothing really in the way unless you were like way left behind that tree in the big cluster that you're aiming for to begin with. So if you end up short, not having a birdie look, just lay up, take your medicine, and move on.
This being in its shorter position compared to when it's at D-Glow, this is probably the flattest green that you'll be playing on, next to like 18.
Ricky just off the top of the basket there. No.
That's a bad spit out right there.
Man, Ricky just can't get some love. I feel like he had a chain out earlier on 9, and a couple holes later gets another one. Sometimes it's not your day.
There we go, Chase. That's a good putt.
Yep.
It's confidence builder right there. Lucas finally getting his turn to get his birdie.
It feels like he's been so close to like kind of popping off. Finally to get one feels good on a hole that's not, like you mentioned, not in the D-Glow position, so a little different than everyone else trying to get one there. Hole 11 playing as the third easiest hole on the day, so feels good to keep up with the people who are getting strokes on folks. As we move into hole 12, probably the sneakiest hole on the course. It feels like it's really straightforward. I think people think it's a backhand hyzer that flips to flat. I actually think if you have the forehand power, it fits better for that shot, to turn something over into the gap and let it hyzer or flatten out as you get up the hill. It's just a lot of forehand power to do that. If you have to go backhand, throw it on hyzer, try to get it to flatten up as it still fades to left to give yourself a look at that. But this is a tough hole.
Lucas going back to that purple disc, I think he's been ripping on all day.
That's his go-to driver. I'm not sure what it is, but it's got some stability to it. He unfortunately leaves this too far right, which is the common miss. Stays on top of the hill on the left side. You could see him being like, hey, that could have gone way worse for where he put that. So
Adam with another beautiful forehand.
Yep.
Just smashing it up there.
Gonna tickle some branches there. He's gonna be short, but should see the basket from there. This line looks better from Chase. A little inside. Oh, yep. Gonna get caught by that tree right underneath it. Landing on the fairway, though, is fine. Everything on that left side, if you happen to get kicked that way, is really, really bad. It's obstructed. It's way uphill. It's all long grass. You could lose the disc.
Ricky also going inside, but looks like he might have fought. Nope.
No, he stayed. He went right where Chase ended up landing, base of the hill. Ooh, this looks low. Yeah, that's low. He's gonna have a long putt for his par. You can just see from this angle how uphill it is, and the cameras never do hills justice. Just so you know, you see this hill, you're like, oh, I can play that. You're gonna show up to this course and get tired so fast.
After hole 1, you go
Yeah,
downhill and then you go
winded.
right back uphill.
You go down the hill and you're like, I gotta go back up the hill. Oh, come on. There's Lucas, upshot right by the basket. That's gonna work. Adam a little better than I thought. He's gonna have a putt here. He's got a hyzer, just a little low, but tap in for his par. It still always freaks me out when I see players that do that. They throw lefty and then putt righty. I just like don't know how you do that. Ricky just off the top. You can see him saying, just sit there. Don't go down the hill.
Just comes back to like, oh, here we go.
No. That's the danger. This is Toboggan. And then he has almost no look. He's got this little gap, but it's got a ceiling on it. Oh, no.
That's all right. He should be able to shake this one off and, you know, pick it back up in the next hole.
Yep. Double bogey for him is going to bring him back to even. Still the hottest score on our card for right now. Putting him at for 23rd.
Your rating is one of the most valuable things you get with a membership. This gives you accurate numbers to track how well you've been doing and your overall improvement in the game. You also get a member number when you register with the PDGA. Your PDGA number is a stamp for when you got involved in the sport. It's a badge of pride for players and a part of your disc golf identity. Get your number today. Visit pdga.com/join.
All right, back with hole 13, maybe my favorite hole to play just because of its uniqueness. 526-foot par 3, maybe the most difficult par 3 to score on, averaging 3.23. It is a forehand shot shape where you want to go around that tree into this tunnel and still have it push forward far enough into this pin location. Very famous hole for Ricky's. It was a 120-foot putt from D-Glow a few years ago. Very challenging gap to hit, especially for someone like Adam here. He's throwing essentially a righty backhand. He's going to try to turn something over. Nearly hits the spotter. Good footwork from the spotter there.
What makes this hole so tough is the gap that you have to hit so late down the fairway.
Mm-hmm. And it has to push straight.
Yep.
Like most discs, you think that it's like a natural hyzer gap, and it's just not. The only way a natural hyzer will fit through that tunnel is if you push the left side of that tunnel. And that's just really tough to do. Ricky going really high here, which is not what you want to do. You want to keep that a little lower. He's going to go early. There's still lots of gaps, but the farther you push into those woods, the better. Because if you get farther into the woods, you'll get a better gap to kind of push through to save your par. Lucas here, unfortunate here.
He had the right line, good height. It was just he pulled it a little left.
Luckily, can still see the gap, but it's a low ceiling. This is a really tough shot to kind of save a par opportunity, but it's coming nicely into the circle. Good for him. It's a tough shot.
Ricky here with a,
Oh no! Hit that first tree and kicked him out left. He had a gap available to him and everything.
Adam going back to the, turnover forehand.
Ooh.
Kind of giving it a bid.
Yeah, a little short on it, but it had a great line on it. This may be my least favorite hole to be around though, because this hole has so much poison ivy. Just infinite amount of poison ivy. Here's Ricky from where Ricky was.
Yep. Very similar to where Ricky made his jump
come on.
putt. Oh.
Oh my goodness, he almost did it too. Ricky trying to do Ricky things. It's going to be just a touch short, but he's going to have a bogey putt from there.
It's a good bounce back from Lucas after taking that double bogey.
And having a really bad tee shot there.
It seemed like he brushed it off and was able to get that par.
Par here for Chase.
Adam's going to clean up his par. Ricky, unfortunately, is going to have to take a bogey.
Moving him to +5. We have a few holes left. He can mitigate some of this damage, get himself back to where he wants to be here. Starting off with hole 14, 837 feet, par 4. One of the more deceptive par 4s. It feels like it should be really attackable. And the adjustment they made for this hole is they pushed that tee position back. So your landing zone where you want to be right at the base of this hill to attack the pin position is so far away. Well over, like, I think it's 550, 600 right in that range. It's probably closer to 550. But once you get there, then it's a up shot from there, up and over the hill to the basket on the left side. It's just tough to get yourself close enough to that hill base to give yourself a chance. It's just two full rips. So we see Adam get well out in the fairway, well past the short pad. That's going to be a good position.
Got Chase here ripping on what looks like to be like a destroyer, getting good flight on it. Out there by Adam.
Yep, we're in the same spot there. A couple feet in front of him. Probably bragging rights, right?
Yep. You see a lot of professional players kind of turn it over and go into the fairway on the right. They say that there's an easier hyzer shot going into the green from over there.
They might make that OB for D-Glow this year. There's no OB for this particular event, so I think that would, like, for most players, plan-wise, kind of pushing that right fairway a little bit, like committing that turnover in that direction, wouldn't be such a bad thing because you really give yourself the opportunity to kind of flexing out and get a little extra space. See Ricky just a little short there, just past the short tee position there. He's going to have this up shot. He probably can't reach even the top of the hill here, but the closer he gets, the easier the third shot will be.
That's still a big rip from him to get that far up the hill from where he was.
Yep. And with his height, he probably can see the basket.
Probably.
He probably, you know, it's like a Marweed problem.
Adam here ripping over a little bit too much, it looks like, on his forehand.
Yeah, he's going to be a similar height as Ricky there. But a good angle from there. That side is much, really good angle approach for that pin location. And with the new, it looks like they brush hogged all of that stuff on the left. Makes the hole a little easier to attack the pin as well. And we see Chase also laying short up on that hill. A little farther up, though.
Lucas definitely has the power to get up on top of the hill here, and he's looking like he's going to try and do it. Beautiful shot. Just outside the circle, I would assume.
Yep.
I put the seatbelt through the steering wheel.
Here's Adam. He's going to go with the forehand. Yep. Nearly even dumps it in from long range. He's going to be tapping for his par. Here's Ricky. Up shot. A little short, but in the circle. He'll be putting for par from there.
Speaking of throw-ins, you had D.W. Haas a couple years ago throw one in from the bottom of the hill for an eagle on this hole.
Gosh, I mean, I can't imagine how short that list would be of people who've taken it to on this hole. Oh, Luke is just wide right. Another opportunity. He's going to pass him by here. He's going to have a par tap in, but definitely one he wants back, I'm sure. Ricky with another chain out. That was definitely left side, but he's just all over the basket, but Net can't quite get it to stay in.
Seems like Ricky's just leaving himself a little bit short on his approaches. Needs to just up the power just a little bit, make his life a lot easier with his putting at the end.
He's going to tap in his bogey at him here for a par. And that's going to do it for hole 14. We're going to transition our way. Hi, Adam, giving us a little wave. Moving on to hole 15. Steven, what do we got going on?
Hole 15, you've got 960 feet downhill, par 5. Traditionally, you want to throw something that's like stays on hyzer all the way past a short pad here, and you want to land by these trees that the camera's coming up to right now. Then it leaves you with a nice backhand turnover or forehand into the green. With these players, some of them might be looking for the eagle, but at par 5, it should be an easy birdie.
Hopefully an easy birdie.
Hopefully.
There's a lot of trouble here. This is one of the few holes where directly off the fairway, it's super dangerous. A lot of the holes, you know, usually you can get a couple feet off before you get into a lot of trouble. This one's very packed. They do leave it as a par 5 for this event because the power is just different between this and, you know, if you're looking at a guy like Calvin Heinberg, whose tee shot's going to, you know, potentially land by the short pin, you know, pad location. These guys are looking just trying to get into that gap initially. So we'll see Chase here. Like, this looks really good.
This is the shot I was talking about. You want to throw it so it gets to the hyzer right around those trees.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be on that side of the left side of the trees there. And so, like, for this division, the power is just a little not quite there in order for them to kind of break the hole. So they're going to leave this as a par 5. Lucas is coming in for Jake, our catch cam guy, who was landed right at his feet.
Lucas has a ton of power.
No. Can't do this. No. Stop. 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 This is the most unfortunate 600-foot drive I've ever seen in my life.
It's going to be very tough for Ricky here.
Yeah, he was talking to some people, seeing if he wanted to maybe try to punch through that, but just decided instead he's going to go with a big forehand and essentially get himself right into the landing zone where he wants to be, and he does so perfectly. Gets him right where he needs to be. Gives him at least a chance to save his par from there.
Yes, I would agree. That was a smart decision on Ricky's part.
Tough fairway here for a lefty forehand.
Absolutely.
Just piped it.
Yeah.
So good.
Beautiful shot from Adam there.
I think this lines up a little better for the righty forehand because you can leave it out a little farther left. This is looking a little inside, yeah. And it's going to be on that right rough there. Hopefully he has a little standout. You can maybe throw a little hammer or thumber, maybe something out and give himself a putt. Speaking of thumbers.
Lucas looking to just get some forward progress so that way he can get up and down still.
See the basket.
Yep.
He's going to get out there into the fairway. Here's Chase with the best drive of the group.
Almost in perfect position. A little bit more left, and he would have had a beautiful look, either backhand or forehand, into the hill.
This is a really smart play. Just put it right on top of the hill. And the danger here, a lot of people who try to push that distance who really can't reach it, you end up going in the woods like Ricky is, and it adds a stroke or two. So that's a really smart play from Chase, just trying to give himself a hill. Lucas here leaking into the left. That's a bad spot to be.
Yeah, those bushes on the left-hand side are very tough to get out of.
No bueno from there. Oh, no. Sit. It's going to be at the base of that hill there. I don't think he's quite in the bush, but a misfire, a little early release there from Chase.
Ricky with a patent pending. Good
shot. Yeah.
To the bottom of the hill. It's, you know, he can run it if he wants to save his par, or he can, you know, just lay up and take a bogey.
Adam with the beautiful second, taking his third, and that was looking like it was about to snag an edge there, but stays right on top of the hill. Lucas. Ooh.
Just over the basket for Lucas.
Little forehand run. Respect. Chase can see the basket still. It's going to give this a run. Yep. Just to the right. Tough spot to be in. There's a lot of obstruction there. There you go, Ricky. I mean, that's one heck of a par save from where his drive landed.
That was a beautiful putt, too, especially with the danger of the rollaway.
He's so funny. Give that basket a big hug. He's like, that was a rough hole.
Lucas getting his par. Chase is going to do the same, and then you're going to have Adam with his birdie.
Yeah, getting himself back to even, tying it up with Lucas. These guys are definitely like fighting for position here. There's a really big pack of score. You can hear the applause in the background. No, I'm kidding. Hole 16, 396 feet, par 3. One of the favorite holes on the courses. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the only hole, yes, the only hole that plays under par today. Backhand, straight shot right at the pin location, or you can throw a forehand off to the left side and let it hyzer back if you're a righty. Adam is unfortunately going to throw this too low. He's going to be on the other side of those bushes, but it's going to be well short. He's going to have a tricky upshot from there to try to save his par. And Chase is following suit. He's going to get past the long bushes. He'll be a little farther up forward, but not what you're looking to do on this hole.
Got Lucas here. Ripping on a mid-range.
Needs to keep turning, get past this.
Oh, fights right through to
Yeah.
about circle's edge, it looks like.
Yep, we'll take that any day. I like the forehand play. There's one tree that kind of makes it tough if you can stay under it, which Ricky does.
I needed that to hyzer a little bit sooner than what it did.
Yep, but he's going to be past the tree line. He'll have an open look at the basket, which is really valuable for this hole. Ooh, and Adam is not in a good spot. This is looking rough. Okay, we'll take that.
Yeah, give himself about a 40-footer to save par.
Yep, that was a rough landing spot. Chase as well, kind of in a compromised footing spot. Going to have to go to a knee. He's going to scoot this up past the tree line. He'll be in circle, though. For his par, got Ricky up next.
Long birdie bid. Come on.
Drew medal. Here's Adam for his par look. Yes. Good putt from Adam there. Great save.
One thing about watching all these younger guys play this is the different putting strokes that everyone has. There's so many different ways people putt. And then you got Lucas here with a beautiful birdie. Gets him back down to 1 under for the round.
Got a couple of tap-ins here left to go. This one for par from Ricky. And from Chase as well will both be a par. And that means we only have 2 holes left to play for round 1. Moving on to hole 17. The last par 4 of the course, 840 feet. No OB for this one, so you get free range in where you're throwing from. We're also throwing from the short position on the tee pad rather than the long. Really, a perfect drive will be at the base of this hill or close to it in that area. And then your upshot is either a backhand or forehand, whatever you're most comfortable with. You want to be on top of the hill. There is some danger of rollaway. There's a little path on the right side that just like to follow. But really, you want to be on top of the hill. A little left is okay because it's pretty flat ground on that side.
Got Lucas here. Smashed on this
Boom.
drive.
Cannon has gone off.
It's a beautiful, beautiful drive.
The interesting thing about this fairway is that there's like those toboggan, rivets, I don't know what to call them, little pathways.
Like
so you don't
a
get,
luge.
yeah, what is it?
It's like a luge.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't know the word. So you have those little luge locations, so your footing, is, even in the perfect drive that Luke just gave, is going to be on a hill. So it's a little compromising and can cause some problems. It's going to be a little short here for Chase. But that spot's okay. It's going to be flat ground. It's just going to be a really uphill shot from there.
Yeah, but it opens up for the hyzer.
Mm-hmm. Ricky smashing this one. He's calling for it to come back left, but it's 500 feet, 450 to the base of that hill. He's got lots of time. It's going to go right into one of those luges. Right? Hopefully that's the right word.
I'm hoping that's it.
I'm going to get slammed. We're going to get slammed so hard in the comments, and that's okay. Let us know. What is it actually called? We're from Michigan, and we don't even know.
Nope.
Because we don't have very many toboggan hills. This is a smash from Adam. Holy smokes.
It's a beautiful forehand. Kind of gets a roll away because, I mean, all these greens are treacherous, but should just be outside circle.
I mean, that was so far for a forehand, right?
Yeah.
450 uphill.
You got Chase here with the backhand hyzer that I was talking about.
Right on the edge of the hill there, right on the side.
Ricky going with the same shot.
Going for the back door?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Right there. We will take that in circle. Luca's really wanting to finish strong here. Just seeing the scores coming in, he wants to be in that, good prime position to kind of compete for a podium finish. And this one's going to be too high and league left. He's going to leave himself really long for
his birdie bid.
Yeah, for his birdie bid and in the woods. So
Chase with his birdie bid, just a little right.
Don't roll. Don't roll.
That checks up.
Yep.
Lucas here with his long birdie bid from the rough. It just kind of lays up and he's going to take his par.
Yeah, that's kind of a scary putt too because it drops off where Adam's at. You can leave yourself in the outside circle if you miss.
Yeah, you can.
A little floater there from Adam, not quite enough to get in the basket for that.
Let's see if Ricky can give us the birdie that we're looking for.
Just a touch low. Don't you dare. All right. It's choked up, still in the circle. Oh, no. Bush is going to impact him a little too much there.
I was going to say, that's a tough straddle putt from Ricky right there. Being inside that bush and with his putting arm directly in the bush.
Yeah. Tap in from Chase. Really, outside of those two mistakes he had on the back nine, Chase has had this quiet, round that could have popped off for a neg 5, missing some putts here and there, but really it's just been in position the whole time, really not making too many critical errors.
Here we are finishing on hole 18. We've got 315 feet, par 3, drastically uphill the whole way.
Yeah.
Power forehand is traditionally the play, but backhand turnover also can work. People also throw a lot of rollers on this hole because the hill slows it down and allows it to curl into the right.
And with no OB on the left side, there's no danger either. So you can really just try to be aggressive with that the roller, like you said.
Lucas smashed on this forehand. Little inside, but he still has a look to get a birdie if he wants it.
That's the Paul Macbeth landing spot, I like to call it, right? That's the highlight spot. You don't want to get too easy of a birdie. You want just, to be right real close so you can have a highlight reel. Adam's going to drift off to the left side.
That's where taking into no OB into effect is good for Adams.
His game.
Forehand. Yeah, for his game right there. Chase with another good forehand. Coming up short. Most likely going to be taking a par here.
This has got to miss. Ah, dang.
Ricky ended up right around where Lucas did.
That's that tree that you hit is the toughest part. If that tree wasn't there, this hole would play almost guaranteed quarter stroke easier for everyone.
100%. When that branch breaks and falls down.
Yep. And then we need to go find another tree and plant it. Block that.
Make sure that the branch grows directly over the fairway.
Well, just plant one just right there. Just block the inside gap completely.
Ricky?
Yes.
Oh, huge putt from Ricky. Getting his birdie. Finishing the round with a nice putt.
Yeah, feels good to get that. Just a little left of the basket for Lucas there.
Lucas tapping in and getting his par there, finishing at 1 down for the round. Still a good round, that's for sure.
Still in the top 20 as well, and there's a lot of packed scores leading up to that leaderboard. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. Adam waving to his adoring fans online. Him and Ricky, always the showman, taking a look at the back nine. Adam being very clean there with the 1 birdie. Lucas having that 1 bogey, 2 birdies, but neg 1 for that back nine looks very good. Overall, we have even, +6, +2, and neg 1. I'm going to take a look real quick here at the overall standings as well. At the end of round 1, we can see here that we have Ryan Mulder at neg 10. Absolutely fire. The highest rated round in AmNats ever. Tanner just a couple strokes back at neg 6. Then Danny at neg 8. Neg 6 for Danny. Neg 4 for Mason. And then we have a lot of neg 3s and 2s kind of clustered together there in those top spots. So Lucas and those guys at neg 1 and even still in the hunt here to get into that podium as they move into round 2. Thanks for being on the channel with me and being on the mic, Steed. Appreciate that.
Anytime.
And we'll see you guys for round 2 in just a moment.